from just outside and just inside the perimeter of Atlanta, Georgia, where Charlotte got to keep their crown. And despite me laughing, we're actually feeling really down. Oh my God, it is the Five Takes podcast, y'all. And we are back.
Bag?
Yeah, we're bag, apparently. Back like trading really promising young players to Montreal again.
There's twice.
Again.
What are the odds?
Seriously.
Again.
If I didn't know the time this happened,
So,
that's two nickels.
if you're not watching the video version of this thing, hi, I'm Glenn. I'm here. We got Nick here. Jennifer might join us, and got Bag Lady with us tonight. Amy's here, and
Bag stand 17.
she's got a wide eye gap bag over her head.
How do you have a bag with a big forehead? That's what I want.
It is a sizable dome on this bag. Amy,
I think they're saying I'm big-headed, y'all.
this is just a visual representation of where we are, how we are all feeling at this time in our club's illustrious history. I don't know.
For those of you who are not watching the YouTube, I couldn't help but feel the collective coming from the comments section of all of the various Atlanta United fan pages, and decided that we've talked enough about the big brown bag energy that maybe we would just bring that on the pod tonight. And so I am in fact speaking on behalf of the fans of Atlanta United, I guess, tonight, that are feeling like we can't show our faces because we just got literally run out of our own home. And I have to say, I have some positive things for tonight, but just to start this off where we're all really at, there are many things that I am prepared as a founding member fan to accept. There are many things as a long-suffering, before they were actually good UGA football fan, okay, that I am willing to accept. But what I am not willing to accept is being literally run out of our own stadium by an opposing fan base.
3 years running.
This is,
by the way.
And you know what? I don't blame the 17s for that, to be very clear. We deserve to be booed out of our own stadium. And I hate saying that because, yeah, if I'm going to be positive, our DPs did create something last night. Not nearly enough, but we did have an Miggy assist. We did have a Latte goal. If it weren't for Kalina having a couple Wunder saves, maybe we have a Muyumba brace.
Off of that kind of semi-bike.
Yeah.
Kick.
Right.
I mean, they were better in the first half.
Sure.
I thought the lineup worked.
Sure.
It was very interesting to watch a defensive right back, which we don't really have when Lennon's out there, like in a 4. Very interesting to watch how much more free Miggy felt to exploit himself and do right winger things on the right side, while also pick and choose his moments to come in, which he did well with.
Yeah.
But
I think a lot of that has to do with him being more comfortable with Ronald Hernandez in general, which
maybe who I thought was okay as well.
Really fine
until he wasn't.
Well,
but for that moment,
I mean, let me jump to a take real quick on number 5. We're gonna bounce around a little bit tonight. Just the state of things, the news that has just broken about Efrain. If you're listening to this on Monday at sometime in the afternoon, I assume the thank you Ronnie Dyla post has dropped from the club at this point. We don't know. I just a little bit, but I feel like it's coming, and I mean, if it's coming, it's coming now, or it's not.
It's coming tomorrow, or it's
right.
Not coming.
But number 5 was, look, this match, this time the effort was there. This time the energy was there. The fight was there. I don't think anybody would deny that at a base level, anyhow.
I don't disagree.
Right. The result was not. So here we go. Despite the good things the team did, like Amy, you were just saying, God, it's so hard to take you serious with this bag on your head. I love it. I love it. I love you, and I love it.
And full disclosure, she can't see both me and She's constantly turning
Can
her
you
head.
actually see anything out of this bag? No. Okay. So there
100%
were
stay out of
good
this
things.
bag.
There were good things in this match. I'm not just talking about the goals. And it's still not good enough. So then the players go, well, shit. I mean, look, y'all, like, whatever happens here, Efrain moving on, what other players come and go, this is MLS. There are 4 changes you can make that dramatically affect a team. If the DPs don't change and the coach don't change, some variation of that, 50% of that, 75% of those 4 changes, that doesn't happen, this team doesn't change. Facts. That's just the reality of it, because that's what this league is. Until we don't have a salary cap anymore, and then basically everybody's a DP because you can pay them whatever you want, and there's no more
They're
classifications.
like, I understand what you guys are saying
So
about the
anyhow,
thank you, I understand what you guys are saying about the thank you,
I
Ronnie,
feel like
right?
it's coming,
At the
man. Did you listen to his presser?
Dude, it was so.
Listen, to me, the
Sure.
press conference sounded to me like he was begging to be
Kind
fired.
of.
Not like,
Yeah.
not like, no, low key, seriously. Okay. You are a coach. You are a championship coach. He is a guy that knows when shit works and when shit doesn't. We didn't bring him in because we thought he has no clue about things. And what I heard was a guy once again call every guy in the locker room soft and has no character. And to me, you can't come back from that. And so that's why I felt like what had happened almost was Ronnie, and this is my theory, okay, guys? And I understand that there's evidence to the contrary, but this is where I'm at. We know that this team, one of the things we've criticized is that you will be up and then something will go wrong and you will just mentally not be able to get there, right? And in this instance, I think what went wrong actually happened in the locker room at halftime. And whether Ronnie should have known or didn't, or did or didn't, or whatever, when you have that sub on the back line, when you have finally, after everything that this team has done, they finally go into halftime with a freaking lead. Okay. They finally paid 45 minutes of work your butt off and they had something to show for it. And what happens? They get told at halftime that Efrain, I guess, has been traded because I'm sorry, I get that probably the head coach should know, but the way that he fumbled the comments about why Efrain came out or not, and the decision around why it was Edwards over Abram and all of this, which I think is the thing where you could get a little more critical. But my point is that you have a team that has finally achieved something, and then the minute that they get a lead, they get news. Hey, by the way, our homegrown, our CB, who has stepped in the last couple games, that has been the captain of that back line through these points. Even if they were just 1 point, they were points, right? And he's been 90 minutes in these matches, and you pull him, and you see immediate discombobulation on the back
Yeah.
line. And I just am angry at whoever in the front office made the decision that in the middle of all of this, the best thing to do is to pull one of the handful of homegrowns that have been keeping people wanting to come to the stadium in the first place and send them packing to Montreal, where we are watching George Campbell, the last one that we did that to, succeed off
Yeah.
to West Brom.
Yeah. It's tough. Hey,
Sorry.
look, Jennifer's joined us. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi,
From
Jennifer.
From Costa
Hey,
Rica.
y'all.
From Costa Rica. Jennifer, we were just
Mm.
talking about nothing but positive things.
I can see that with Amy having a bag over her head. That's that's a sight for sore eyes. Also, can you make me one for when I come back to this country? Because
Absolutely.
I mean, that's where we're at this point in time. Like, I was floored
Yeah.
to see the tweet drop from Tommy Scoops. Like, absolutely floored. Like, it's absolute nonsense.
It feels that way. I mean, I know business happens around the world with different clubs that we disagree with, that we don't like, but this one, I don't know, man.
I
Like,
just
it's really tough, huh? It's really tough, huh?
It
well,
feels
and
It
bad.
feels real
not
bad.
only that
Feels
for
real bad.
Efra, and did you guys talk about the fact that Efra is currently a student at Georgia Tech and he really wanted to finish his degree
We haven't
because
gotten
there,
to that point. Also, if you're
Welcome to McGill University,
if you're
Efrain.
watching the video portion of this, apologies for those watching me update the video in real time as Jennifer airdropped in with a martini. No. What is this? What are you drinking?
Oh, this is my new one part of my new cocktail program. We just did a whole bunch of menu revisions. This is actually a psychic bartender where I tell my bartender like what I
Can we
like.
get a
He asks me a few
psychic
questions.
GM? That would be great.
I
Everybody to
don't
look
think
into
it
a
takes a
crystal ball.
psychic to figure out what we would like, which is not necessarily to win, but to play some up-tempo soccer and actually have goals to celebrate when we score.
Yeah. To your point about Efra, no, we hadn't brought up the fact that he's enrolled at Tech and
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
currently
slouch
in
school. Like you
classes
got to be
and
smart to go to tech.
yeah,
You don't just get into tech.
no, smart cookie. And apparently he had mentioned in some form to someone in some capacity that the transfer window and the pending moves that may or may not happen was stressing him out a bit because he's concentrating on his studies as well and is worried about, hey, if I get moved on, and you understand as a professional athlete that these things will happen, but he's a
Yeah.
kid, and that's a stressful thing to have to deal with. And lo and behold, he's
I'm
having to deal with
interested
it.
to
Here
hear.
here he goes. It seems like done deal. So
Aren't you kind of interested to hear the aftermath though?
I am.
Because like if there's one thing that I would say since 2017 that I would generally say about this front office, with limited exceptions, and there have been exceptions that have not gone properly, right? But for the most part, our front office has always done a good job of trying to, wherever possible, like prioritize stuff like that. And I really hope that I don't hear out of this that that didn't happen here. Like you could still be nervous, still things could happen. I hope that they're still trying to do what they can. It is
I
a
bet they
business, but
are.
we talked about the fact that we feel like the club has gotten away from that more community, family, whatever feel to more corporate, and this just feels very in that
Well,
vein.
we've felt like
And
that before in other times. I mean, business is business. Like if
I have never
it
really,
is, but
I hear you. I know.
I have never really felt like the organization had completely sold its soul to corporateness
mhm,
before this season. There
Hmm.
were shades of it and glimpses of it with the way that Garth came in and said he was going to run the club and like change business and these are all changes I was actually for because at the time I felt like we were really just dealing from our gut and not actually taking metrics and given the fact that we had no scouting and we weren't using the available resources that we had at our disposal to really kind of maximize that hybrid of gut feel scout, physical scouting, things along those lines, along with metrics and math. Like the winners go, the winners always fall somewhere in between. You can't be 100% sabermetrics based and win a World Series. You can't be 100%, oh my god, I feel like this is a great thing to do and expect to see like a ton of success. It's got to be somewhere in the middle. We were kind of
mhm.
too far over leaning into vibes when under Boca's charge for the most part. And
And
now
Darren,
we have,
don't forget Darren on that one too.
oh
Like,
yeah,
Doesn't it seem
100%.
like we got both wrong this time though? Now we have
Yes.
neither vibes nor corporate. Like
no,
it both are
I,
failing.
I disagree
Okay.
because when Garth came in, and I think it was the World Cup in 2022 when we got that news, like a couple days before Thanksgiving. I just remember being at home with the game on when we got the news. I think it might have been Tom, and just being like, this was the best thing that could have possibly happened to us. And then you listen to his pressers and his media that came out when he moved to Atlanta and did all that. And I just remember thinking like, this is what we need. Like, I love shots at the tailgate. I love training McTrain face. I love all that. But you can't look at 2020, 2021, and 2022 and say that it's any better than 2023, 2024, and 2025, right? No matter what happens this season, you still made the playoffs more times than you did in Darren's last 3 years. You still put out generally a better product than you did Darren's last 3 years. And if you're going to compare it in 3 year spans like that,
No, not really.
pre-COVID is its own
This
thing.
is the worst the team's ever been.
Yeah, this is absolutely
That
bar none the worst
It
it's
is
ever
uses
absolutely the
COVID, which
worst the
I
team's
throw
ever
out the
been.
window too.
It's absolutely the worst the team's ever
Yeah.
been. But they were terrible in 2020. I mean, sure, Joseph tore his ACL and COVID, so we
Yeah, I
give
throw
him
that
that
out.
one.
We were better in
They were
21.
terrible in 2021 until Gonzo came
Yeah,
in,
and we made the
and they
playoffs.
were terrible. They did. They finished fifth that year, and they were terrible in 2022. Sure, you're ravaged by injuries, but at that point, you probably should have fired Boca anyways because of how the roster was constructed. And whatever else. But in 2023, like, God, wouldn't we all die for that team right
Yeah.
now? Like the team that scored 66 goals, the team that brought in Saba and Moyumba and Jande and
Yeah.
was the only team to beat Columbus when the year they won MLS
Yeah.
Cup. Wouldn't we die for the Miami series right
Yeah.
now? Like those happened under this current regime.
Those
And I
happened
feel like
under
we are
a different coach with a different mentality, and literally the one coach who kind of did manage to bridge that gap between the one coach we've had physical evidence of bridging that gap between both vibes and metrics. He somehow
yes.
understood the assignment, and we took a
Mhm.
giant dump on him for doing so.
Yeah.
And I miss Gonzo every day for the person that he was. Like I remember being like just sad the day that we fired
Yeah,
Glenn, and Amy and I were talking about this before you
Yeah, it
came
was
on.
sad.
Like you gotta after our last 3-2 loss to Charlotte at home, like I just remember like we all knew like it was it. Like this is it. This great guy is gonna lose his job because these players just didn't do good enough. And like we knew it was gonna happen. I feel weird about it this time, not like sad, but I feel weird because we don't know if it's going to happen. Like our gut is saying, like mine and Glenn's gut collectively, and a couple other folks from the Discord are saying, yeah, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen tomorrow, or it's not happening. But we just don't feel that way about this team and this coach because they never connected with us. We never had that 66 goal season where the 404 kit came out and we're blowing teams away 4-0, 4-1 at home. Like we never got that. And this team has it in them. I'm sure they do, but it's not happening at this point. It's not happening with either this group or this coach.
No, but go ahead, Jen.
I was just going to say this entire group to me is a bunch of Death Eaters. They literally stand over you and suck your soul out.
Well,
So what is
I will
your
say
Amy, what is your Patronus against this? Is it a bag? Is it just a bag?
No, it's
look,
happy to right?
if we're going to try to take some positives out of
Sure.
it, again, I go back to
Here's my Patronus.
Miguel has an assist. Latte has a goal for the second game in a row. It might be another goal that makes you go, ugh. But he almost had an assist on the dip to Mayumba. He does head that ball back
He
in.
does.
There are a couple good saves. To Ronnie's point, you can't give up 3 goals though and expect to win. This time the offense did actually finally produce something.
And on Wednesday too.
Unfortunately,
Let's give up
our
3 goals and
discombobulated
tell
backline
the
that let
one
us down.
center
And I
back
go back
that's
to
actually being competent.
I'm sorry.
So
sorry, I can't hear very well inside the bag, Jen.
Oh, I said so we're gonna give up 3 goals and sell the one center back that's actually being competent. And
Well, the
and
new-
that's what that's why listen, I did not pre-make this bag, y'all. Like literally, I found out about the Efrain news and made this bag 60 seconds before getting on this pod because I have been literally
I can't talk to a
trying
bag.
You know
all
what
day
what I really
to find the
what I
positive
really
stuff
hate
to say,
for
and then they did that.
Efrain is that you're leaving one bad team to go to an equally bad team.
And if you follow in
Well,
George
worst
Campbell's
team
footsteps, you might
might be
have
the only
even
team that's
bigger things
worse.
on the
I
horizon.
hope so. I hope he does. I want nothing but the best for him.
Well, and also in my mind, the move is almost nonsensical because they've basically relegated Noah Cobb to the twos like full time, and he's clearly not in favor with this iteration of the coaching staff.
we need the
Well,
GAM.
and-
We need the GAM
Sorry,
straight up. We blew it all on this new CB coming in, and it's going to go towards that. And
I
free up
think
a spot.
Noah has gotten sacrificed to the we need to get rid of Luis Abram and need him to play in order to be able to sell him. Is my theory on that because I otherwise
Are
don't
not going
understand
to
it either.
sell. I don't think there's any value unless you have a MLS playoff contending team that is desperate for center back depth. There's no other market value for Luis out there in the international lands or whatever, and he's
Well,
at the end
Luis
of his
is done at the end of the year anyways.
yeah, he's at the end of his contract. Like it's done. You're not getting rid of him. He's a fucking albatross.
Yeah, there's no buyout happening though. That would be
No, there's
nonsense.
nothing
No,
going.
no,
There's
no.
no.
One,
Yeah.
I wonder if part of the Morales deal is like, okay, he came into the season 5th on the depth chart and he's played a couple of games, and we just like with John Day, they didn't go looking for that deal. Like St. Louis called them.
We need to see
Like,
the
I
number.
always-
Like if it's decent GAM,
I don't see for
Yes,
him
that
putting
too.
himself
If-
into a contract.
If it's 550K up front and GAM like George Campbell was, like congratulations.
I don't think it's
Chris.
going to
Like,
be
you
that
feel-
much, but I think it's a couple hundred, which is still
But, like,
enough to go.
for a guy who's made 8 starts.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
if he was fifth on the depth chart and he was going to go back to fifth on the depth chart when Mihai comes in tomorrow, and Mihai was a captain of a Portuguese team that finished in the European
Right.
spots. Like that guy's not going to be a joke. He, with the way that Ronnie has spoken about him, and kind of the research I did doing the write up for FanTV about him, I have at least a moderate level of confidence he's going to come in here and be at least as good as anyone else.
You know what my fear in all of that is, though,
He
is
gets hurt immediately.
Okay, besides that was one I wasn't considering. So thanks for that, Glenn.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Glenn.
My actual fear in all of this is that he's going to pull an Amador Miyumba, come in, have a
come in and be great,
good
and be
immediate
shitty.
impact for the back half of the season, and then disappear for a year.
Yeah, that's fair. It's warranted. Look,
To be honest with you, my issue with this move is not the logic. It's that I feel like once again the team is getting the balance of vibes and timing and corporate. Like it's not that there's not a part of me that can't see the logic or even understand the concept or any of that. But given where we are right now, it just feels like we got kicked in the teeth with it instead of it being
the trouble is with it. You can get kicked in the teeth. That happens all the time. We're out of teeth.
Yeah.
This is just going straight down the throat, man. It's in the gums.
We're out of teeth and we can't afford dentures.
Yeah, our gums are bleeding, man. Like we're getting kicked in the gums, y'all. We don't have any teeth anymore because we've just been kicked. And we've had to accept. It's business, and we understand the logic, and it's just when are we going to get back? When?
And it's not even like, and I've said this before. It's not even back. Let me get trophies, right? And it kills me to think that we were talking about trophies, and pundits, including Mr. Optimist, Jason Longshore.
Everybody
was like, anything less than Eastern Conference Finals this season is an abject failure with the roster that we built. There's no excuse for it.
Especially because you made the quarterfinals last year after
with nothing.
With 40 points.
One DP.
With nothing.
One DP. And it was a paper DP.
And that goes to my point from earlier. Like, wouldn't we die for that 2023 team that finished with 51, 53 points right now? Yeah. And, like, sure, they lost, like, 4-2 sometimes. But, like, God, who cares?
I'd bite your arm off, dude. Bite your arm off for mid-table.
For sixth in the conference. That's what they were.
I need y'all to recognize, because you
serious right now. Serious question.
Yes.
Could we win? Like, so serious question, but not a serious question because it'll never happen.
Right.
This is where I'm at and why I know that we're in a really bad place, because I do not give up easily, okay? Like, I am somebody that just doesn't. But genuinely, I'm telling myself, let's say that we win every single game that we play to the end of the season, okay?
11 more games, 10 more games?
Okay, so let's say that we win every single game the rest of the season.
Okay, so we get 30 more points.
We even somehow miraculously sneak into a playoff game because everybody else in the conference suddenly sucks. Okay?
That would be at 50 points by then, so yeah.
Okay. Under this hypothetical, that will never happen. If the front office raises my ticket prices, I'm done. And that tells me how truly done I am, because I am now at a point where, like, I'm not even trying to tell myself optimistically this could be, like, different. And I think it's maybe time, like I said this earlier today, there's a little known rider clause in the positivity train, ticket, okay? Where occasionally when you ride the positivity train, they deposit you directly into the bog of eternal stench. And it feels a little bit like I rode the positivity train last night. I got so in my feelings. I was like, yes. And then they just, like, I don't know, like that scene in Harry Potter where they, like, dunk them or drop them.
No, they literally just came out of the locker room, no Efrain Morales, and shit the bed.
Yes. And I got dropped with the rest of the 17s into the bog of eternal stench.
You know what it was? Amy, I realize you're not as pop culture literate as Glenn and I are. Have you ever seen that movie Train Spotting with Ewan McGregor about heroin and addiction?
All-time.
Once upon a time,
all-time
yes.
Great movie with
Ewan. Movie. And so there's this scene after they go to the club and Spud goes home with his girlfriend and they're finally going to have sex, and they haven't had sex, and she's been dangling it like a carrot in front of him and, like, whatever. And he's so conked out of his gourd, he literally shits the bed, right? Because he actually shits the bed. This whole scene in the movie. And so he's trying to very discreetly take these sheets because he passes out while his girlfriend is going to do it and he can't function right. Girlfriend leaves, sleeps on the couch. He gets up in the morning. He is literally laying in a bed of his own feces and he's trying to discreetly take the sheets to go wash them in their washing machine, gets caught by her mother because she lives with her parents and winds up dumping poop all over the entire family. That's us right now. That is who we are as a fan base. We are Spud's girlfriend's family, parents, who insisted on
I didn't have a
washing.
bag on my head, so
Yeah,
you could see
let me
the
bring up
expression of
a couple points
horror.
How's
off.
that for a metaphor
It's
today?
brilliant. It's brilliant, actually. I want to bring up a couple.
I'm just too stunned to speak after that. I just don't know what to do now.
I got.
It's a great movie. Go watch it.
So it is. It's an all-time. I didn't see the sequel. Two
The
things.
sequel's really good too.
Two things.
The sequel does its job.
I need
just
to
so
see
we're
it.
clear on
It's
that
on the
one.
list.
Yeah.
Two things off that. One about ticket prices. First, I want to just shout out Amy here. The commitment to the bag. It's still on, y'all. If you're not watching the video, the bag's still on.
She's still turning every direction to see us.
August 24th.
Yeah.
I've already sent a message to my local Trader Joe's and we're gonna have a whole bunch of bags. For
Oh my God! All right.
August 24th,
Sponsored by. Okay, this
Oh
is
my God, please.
amazing.
I
You
got
know
you,
what?
Nick.
The Home Depot has a lot of brown paper bags.
Yeah, but it just says
Oh, good.
Home
Maybe we
Depot.
can
Sorry,
Oh,
I'm
you
a
want
terrible-
you want the lawn bags where you
edited
can
it.
walk around in them. Okay. Look
God, you just call me fat.
on ticket prices. Here's the reality.
Those are the plus size bags for we're inclusive with our paper bag sizing. We got them for
Now I
littles, we
actually
got
have
'em
a
for
really
bigs,
great
we got 'em
idea for a
whoever.
whole outfit. This is great.
No, this is totally, we're making this a thing. It's going to be a thing. I'm sorry.
You've
If I
been
can
trying
make
to do
party
this
hats for
for
Jim
5
Curtin
years,
happen, I
like-
can totally make paper bags for the section happen. Done.
Just remember, it started with bag stand 17. No, I'm
Bags.
just kidding.
Yeah, that's our number. Our names will be on the back. Will be bag stand, and then 17 is the number. We'll get the limo players in front of it.
Fantastic. Okay, sorry, Glenn, you had a valid point
I'm
to make.
so tired of our shit
Nah,
right now.
go ahead. Keep talking about bags.
No, you were going to talk about ticket prices.
No, actually, Glenn, like before Jennifer hopped on, before we hit the record button, you and I were talking about whether or not to renew season tickets or not, and the decision you have come to and the decision I have come to are different.
Yeah.
And I think I think that's a good conversation for the pod. Like let's.
Well, I also think Nick has the perspective of he wasn't even born yet when we actually won shit.
Hey, I was a freshman in college. That is not the same thing.
Close enough. All right.
Close enough,
Ticket
right?
prices.
I was a minor when
I'm
the team
so
started.
sorry. My high school that you went to, my high school
Yes.
30th reunion was last night
At Pope.
at Pope.
Oh, time for my meds. But that's crazy.
Yes. I just needed you to know that. Like the high school you graduated from with my daughter, my 30th reunion from that same high school was last night.
Right, and you told me your daughter's name. I'm not going to out her on this
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah,
but
I'll text
like,
you.
It rang a bell. Like I'm sure I have like seen her before, like interacted with her when we were like 16.
If I sent you a picture, you'd probably know who she was. I'm going to send you
Well, I
one.
met her at the tailgate earlier this year. The one time
She
came.
did. She did come to the tailgate. You met her.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
On the topic of ticket renewals,
Boy,
Sorry.
am I trying. All right.
we're trying.
You're trying
This
to
is what
renew
happens
them.
when psychic bartenders attack.
I want to be clear that I've made no actual decisions myself. To be honest with you,
Okay.
what might happen is I might end up relocating my tickets to something less expensive because I did the math, and I really wish I hadn't, on what my day of game like ticket cost is before I even walk in the door and spend money on food and merch and all the stuff. And it is reaching a number that is hard to justify.
It sounds like you're going to have a lot of options for relocation.
When I can't get a third of that in the price
There's
back when I
the
go
problem.
to sell.
There's the problem,
that-
y'all.
That is
So,
fundamentally the issue.
when I got on this bandwagon, OG founding member here, as soon as they let me give them money, I did. Because I was that
As soon as they let you hit the golden spike,
I was that excited because
Me too.
of all the places I've lived, I've never had a hometown team. Charleston Battery was the closest I had when I lived in Charleston, and that was fun, but it's not the same. And this was great. So back when they offered season tickets, that place was packed, man. You needed it just to make sure you could get in.
Yep.
We are not in
I
that reality
remember.
anymore. The fact
I
of the
paid
matter is
$5 a pop for matches in 2017.
correct.
For extra season tickets.
Correct. the fact of the matter is now, and I'm sure I'll have this discussion with my season ticket rep when that phone call and email comes, which they do every year. Um, I can get the tickets cheaper on resale than it costs for my season tickets right now. Those are the facts. Now, are there perks for being a season ticket member? Of course. MLS season pass, free away tickets, other little events
And
online and in
we
person, and those are
Get
all
on merch.
and we
wonderful.
do have
And we get the most generous season ticket package of
Yes,
yeah
I would say
for
probably
sure.
anybody in the league,
we do,
hands
That's
down.
all.
but we also have the most expensive ticket package
That's
outside
all
of
well and
the
good.
best.
All those benefits and the online stuff with Joe and legends that actually care about this club come back and
And
do things. That's
we
wonderful.
also we are one of 3 clubs that get an away match
Yeah.
package. The others, I think, being
Mm-hmm.
RSL
Mm-hmm.
and
All
SFC.
very,
And
all very
we are
nice things.
we are
Minnesota,
also
Minnesota does right by their supporters, but they're,
Yeah.
again, all the different clubs do their own different
Mm-hmm.
perks and things
yeah.
like that. Like there's a lot of clubs that are leaning into, just so you know, there's a lot of clubs that are leaning into
I
what
got
Atlanta
you.
United has done with
Yeah.
regards to away.
And I'm acknowledging all
And we
that.
are
It's all
we are also the only club that lets you opt out of League's Cup.
okay. Yeah. And a season and a ticket buyback program. That's pretty
Yeah,
telling
that doesn't exist
for
either.
me. And those are all wonderful things that you can.
And y'all be careful with the fine print on the buyback, okay? Just to be
Yes, it
clear,
goes
you got
towards
to
your
use that as a credit next
next
year.
season.
So if you
Yes,
don't
I know.
renew, that money
I know
evaporates.
all that
Oh,
things.
does it?
Correct. It just goes towards next
Yeah.
season. I'm totally aware of all that. And those are all very nice things that you can take
Mhm.
and shove it.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not here for that stuff. I'm paying money for a product. Do any of us in our lives treat any other products that we pay a lot of money for in the same regard? No.
well, it depends on what you define a lot
No.
of money as.
Like if I'm going to pay, let's say a contractor comes over to your house, does some work. I've had some contractors doing some work at my house. They've actually done a really good job. Some energy efficiency improvements, new insulation, et cetera, et cetera. That I'm actually already noticing a difference in my house. I'm very comfortable in my house. Temperature is steady. It's nice. Next time you come over, Nick, it's a very different house. It's very comfortable.
Oh, boy.
It's cool.
From last week?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I know. Look at the improvements that were made in a week's time. The money I invested. I got a decent ROI. I'm not getting that anymore. I would not treat that contractor if I paid them a lot of money and the work wasn't good with, I still love you. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
No,
Just wouldn't.
something
And I
about
get
it
it.
on
It's not the
the
same,
fly, like,
but like we've reached that point. We have just reached that point where, I mean, yeah, I suppose if I was made of money, I wouldn't give a shit. But I'm not. I'm okay, but I'm not. And I have to consider this stuff. For me personally, this year, it's been a challenging year for me. Going through some career changes and stuff. But like, look, I would not be contemplating this if we're 2023, right? That team, fifth, sixth, 50 points, 60 goals. We're not winning a trophy. It's okay. We made progress. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be contemplating this if I felt like we were remotely close to the team that we were at the end of the year last year that I followed to Montreal for a, skin of your teeth play-in
Which was
game,
great. Yeah.
right?
And we're not. We're worse.
So
So now I'm contemplating this. Like I'm doing the numbers. I'm running them just like you are, Amy. Of like, what do I spend per day? Is this what kind of return am I getting? I mean, I love you guys. And I love going to the tailgates. And I love hanging out. I'm gonna keep doing all that shit. None of that's going away. This pod isn't going away. I just don't know if I can justify going to the Bends. I'll still go, but I can get a ticket for $20 anytime I want. Anytime I want. For any of these matches.
I think it comes down to how much do you realistically believe that math is going to change, right? And I think I've ridden a couple of seasons now on the, okay, yeah, this year I'm not getting the benefit of the math, but the early years I did get the benefit of the math. And so maybe I can
I hear you.
balance some of this out. Maybe for me, it ends up being that I don't give up my tickets entirely, but maybe instead of 4 tickets, I have 2, right? Or something
That's
like
what a lot
that,
of people are
because
doing.
my son only goes to half of the games if he can at that anyway, because of just scheduling, you know, and it's just one of those things where you just,
He's not that
it's
into it.
not,
Let's be
it's
real.
not because it's a pure ROI, but there is a point at which it's like, okay, well, how many other things that bring me joy could I be
I'm
doing?
wondering, can
I
I
can name one thing that would bring you joy that you could be doing with that extra season ticket money, Amy.
Is it another paper bag?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
well,
seeing your hotel.
next
No, I was going to say going to Antarctica, but that's just me.
the thing I'm
Also
legitimately
that.
thinking about for next
Also
year is
that.
World Cup. Honest to God. Honest to God, World Cup. You know, I'm really thinking about that. But look, you know something else that would help with this decision and me not having to feel conflicted about it? The club representatives coming out in no uncertain terms, speaking plainly and bluntly, this has been a disaster. Own it. Come out
Uh-huh.
and say it. Just like that. And we're sorry. We're sorry about it. And as a gesture of goodwill, we're cutting prices across the board. Put a number in 5, 10, 20%, whatever it is, right? That would help. That would go a long way to say we recognize the product that you have paid us to deliver has not been delivered. Just like if the contractor that's been doing all the work on my house, if my house is still hot, okay, well then, you know, they're going to come make it right. Okay, all good. Mistakes happen. Mistakes happen. Make it right.
Yeah.
That would
Help if
help
we could
a
do some
lot.
things.
That would help. I think it would go
So,
a
like-
Yeah.
long way. And the other way, if there's anybody else that they're contemplating this decision, what you might want to consider doing is, you know, another gesture they could do is say, all right, if you can't come in this year, you can come back next year. Give us a year to prove it. And if you want to join back in, you can join back in. No penalties, no fees. You'll still be a founding member. All good. That would help. But if there's people out there like myself and Amy and others that are like, I love it, but I don't know. Do it and then sell back to the club because I'm sure they're going to do that again. And just sell back your first half of the season. You know, let this club prove it to you and then come back in June, right?
That's a good
And that
idea.
half,
I'm gonna note
like
that to
Amy
myself.
said, that's not going into Chase and Wells Fargo. That's not happening. But it is going into the next year. So sell your first half until the World Cup, right? Don't subject yourself to the pain of what happens at the Benz. World Cup comes, get to see amazing football, incredible football. And then after that, maybe the team's good. And the worst case of that is like in March, the team's really good. We're doing really good and you're missing out. And if you have to and you can't bear it, get on TickPick, get you a ticket, and go down.
I do want to be
So-
clear that I'm not aware of any perk that we get as a season ticket holder for World Cup
We
stuff.
don't.
Just,
We don't.
Well,
We don't because
But I mean, we
that's going to
we
go
did for the Club
ESL
World Cup.
holders,
So
whatever.
we might.
let's frame what we know.
Sure.
Let's frame what we know.
Yeah.
We all know that FIFA controls the ticketing,
Mhm.
distribution. They're setting the pricing. It is not our front office. It is not anybody with any club in this country that does anything or guarantees access. Your best bet is probably American Outlaws if you want to go see the U.S. men's national
Hey,
team.
shout out American Outlaws for control.
Absolutely.
You want to say a little something about that? Go ahead.
Yeah, I really do because this is something that has been kind of a big, kind of a sticking point. We've made some progress with regards to away match
And I got
pricing.
shout out these guys. Got my scarf hanging up.
But American Outlaws announced this past week that they have negotiated a deal to cap all U.S. soccer ticket pricing at $45 per match, which for the American Outlaws, for the American Outlaws tickets, right? Like obviously if you want club seats, you're not getting them for $45 a match. But that being, this has been done in an effort to maintain affordability and basically give two little birdies to FIFA and their dynamic sliding pricing scales and whatever crap that they think the market will bear when they want to drop $1,500 single tickets for entertainment pack, for all-inclusive ticket pricing for the World Cup this year. Like soccer fans for the most part cannot afford that.
No.
We do not all have, corporate pie in the sky jobs and giant unlimited expense accounts. So while, yeah, I get it. I would love for that price to be cheaper. At least it's a cap. And I do want to also be clear. This does not account for Gold Cup or some other competitive tournament matches, primarily for friendlies and some other things. But still, the fact that they are making the effort to keep
it's good work.
It's
good work.
They have to do something because you can't play a Gold Cup final in the freaking United States of America and have the entire stadium be there pulling for Mexico.
That's how it always
Well,
is, but there's a lot of other things.
That's what's gonna happen in Texas. Like, I don't know why you'd play the Gold Cup final there. Then.
There's
Like,
a lot of
Well,
that
because
would
they
happen
needed to
here. That
do,
would
they
happen in
needed
LA.
to,
That would happen
because they
everywhere.
need to be right now. That don't forget that's where that was one of the places that was up for consideration
right.
for hosting the final of the World Cup because of stadium capacity. So you have a
I
lot
mean,
of these venues the last 18 months or so that are hosting matches that maybe they wouldn't normally get while they're working on venue configurations and
a
turf
lot of the
and
turnout
all
has
this,
to do with the team being not good as well.
that there's
Were you talking about Atlanta or the U.S.?
Oh
both.
Both.
God,
Both
jeez,
are
yeah,
not
not
good.
neither.
Anyway, but
Neither
I
are
know
good.
Nick had as an aside, there has definitely also, you may or may not be seeing it, but there has also been some progress in that regard with regards to MLS away ticketing. And there is now a minimum allocation that every club is required to provide. And there is now a benchmark of, it's not a fixed price around the league, but there is a limit to what
Okay.
clubs can charge visiting supporters for away tickets for any match. And that includes playoffs and tournaments, Leagues Cup, whatever, anything that is an
Oh, so the
MLS
Timbers
match.
Army can't complain like they did last time.
I mean, it's
Well, they can
not just
complain,
them.
but no.
Like it's really, it's not just them. Like if you saw what Austin before Messi was even part of this conversation, if you saw what Austin was doing to away supporters, and we didn't see it here because we didn't get a match against Austin away until this season. Austin was, you were lucky if you could get 50 tickets, and you weren't getting in that door for less than $100 as an away
Yeah,
ticket.
I mean,
That's
good
nice.
on ISC and everybody else who pushed to negotiate that. It's been a great thing, and it's a great incentive, and it's a great perk, and I appreciate that that's becoming more a part of the conversation. I don't know that it gets me there in terms of like my
Yeah.
ROI
I
on
mean, it
how I'm
does.
feeling at
For
the
most of us,
moment,
you're going to
which
Nashville and you're going to Charlotte, and if you think about, Charlotte was another bad club for gouging the hell out of people. We
True.
only didn't get gouged this year because they decided to open up the 300s and then they couldn't fill their building up.
You know what else the
Because
club could?
every year prior, Charlotte was a $60 away ticket.
You know what else the club could offer to kind of sweeten the deal?
Chiropractic care?
ha yes. Yes.
I mean,
If
if you're in
only,
a really,
if
Healthcare in
only
this
the
country,
players were
I
as
wanted to
connected
guys.
as we are on our segues on this pod, we would be so much better. Most of the time. Sometimes it doesn't happen. That was beautiful. You 100.
It seems to happen match
You
to
were
match
picking
from
up
effort.
what I was putting down. Yeah, I mean, why not? Shoot. Have Mason Mill open an office in the Benz. Go get an adjustment. I mean, if you're looking for patients in pain, we are your clientele. Like, we're right in the wheelhouse of pain. Oh,
holistic healthcare is a real thing
take
because
care of yourselves, y'all.
if your body is in better physical shape and you're taking care of your body,
Yeah,
it becomes a lot easier to take care of your mental health. It all works together. It's all connected.
100%. 100%. Give them a call, 404-321-0082. And get your appointment set up with Dr. Cohen or Dr. Miner. You can find them on the web, masonmillcairo.com. They got all sorts of fun events coming up with Dr. Cohen turning 40 on October 10th. Little party at Block and Drum. They've already given away their allocation of 100 tickets, but you can still buy a ticket if you want and go check out the DJs that they will have there. DJ Cairo, the DJ team, DJ Puffy. Go check all that out. That's happening on October 10th. And then on September 20th, if you're feeling bold, they're going in one of those Tough Mudder type races, the Fall Savage Race Blitz on September 20th. And I think they are still looking to put together a team. So if you're the crazy type and you want to do that, hit them up and join the team and get adjusted afterwards because I'm sure you're going to need it. No doubt. But that would be kind of cool if we had like an on-site chiropractor inside the Benz. I don't know where you would put it. We got the new A-Town Lounge or whatever up on the third deck. So surely we got space for a chiropractor. Maybe we'll talk to him about it. It would be a pretty sweet deal. All right. Where y'all want to go to next here? Do you want to talk about some of the comments that we got? They're all kind of the same-ish, or at least about the same
First
stuff.
of all, I would like to first and
comments.
foremost thank
Yeah.
everybody
Go
who is
Go on.
making comments and taking the time to interact with us and suffering with us. And none of us here are licensed therapists or providing the quality
Oh,
level
no.
of care that Mason Mill provides.
No,
just
but
to be
like,
real.
it's so funny that you bring that up because Scott Danielson, Scotty on Facebook. So his comment, I'm now looking at Footy Mob as a support group instead of a supporters group. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's where we at. And you know what? That's not a bad thing. And honestly, we've always been that anyhow. It's not just about the soccer. We have
Are we gonna start a 17's Anonymous? I mean, Bagstand
no.
17 is here for you guys, man.
Well, so I
We could
kind of
have like
want
a
Well,
to
it's
whole
not
and
group.
going to work with
I
the
want
bag on
to.
your head. It's not going to work. It's you got to reveal yourself. You got to be brave. You got.
Yep, it's okay. It's okay. We're not going to disclose your identity to anybody of the
She
12
gets
other than the
mad at me
12
every
people that are
time I say
watching
her
this.
full name and disclosing her secret identity. If that's your superhero costume, you got to do better. No, we always have been there for each other. We will continue to be there for
And,
each
and
other.
I
So,
I
welcome to the
want to
family.
bookend. I really want to bookend, and I'm sure Nick is with me on this because I know this is kind of where you were going to go from this conversation that went on in the FanTV Discord. Which, by the way, if you're not on the FanTV Discord, please join the FanTV Discord. It's free. There's good conversations. We only had like 2 meltdowns this week so far, so like, yeah, it's pretty awesome. But
A lot of fun in there. It's fantastic.
the
Two
thing,
games, two
the thing,
meltdowns, coincidence?
the thing
Coincidence?
that the thing that is the drug that I am addicted to when it comes to Atlanta United, right? The soccer is the soccer. And yes, I would love to see a soccer match played that is worthy of my time and attention. But ultimately, and this is what I responded to Scott Danielson's quote, comment in the Footy Mob group, is that the community is forever. The community that we have built, that is the thing I don't want to let go of. And that is the thing that I keep coming back to. And look, my world, like yours, Glenn, is a very different place than it was a year ago. I'm now running my own business. I am making all sorts of fun, life-changing things going on in my life. And yeah, it's no longer become it's like $25 a ticket. It's no big deal. Like, it's an investment, especially when you factor in parking that costs more than my season ticket does per match. And I only have the one ticket. Um, the thing that I don't want to lose is the community
Yeah.
and the support group that we have around all of this, and
Yeah.
not just in football,
Yeah.
but
It's
in
important.
Resurgence, in All Stripes, in La Doce, in Terminus Legion, in Faction. I have friends in every single supporter group that there is. I have friends in unofficial supporter groups. I have friends that have told the supporter groups to go fuck themselves. And none of that would be a thing if we didn't have this one common thread that we all happen to find ourselves in the same place in the same time for. And that
I
is
mean,
where
it's true.
Well, and
Sorry,
that's
go ahead.
and to wrap up the season ticket discussion. Like if it wasn't obvious from how we kind of started that, Glenn's has pretty much made up his mind, unless the club issues that kind of statement, and the potential of
Yeah. Yeah.
less tickets, which we know is very unlikely, less likely than Ronnie Dyla being fired in 12 hours. But my kind of thing is exactly what Jen said. Besides the weighing the cost of my supporter section ticket, like the costs are public. I don't mind talking about what it costs. Like it's around 650 for a non-founding member.
Mhm.
Oh my god, it's around 650 or something for a non-founding member. Once you do the little Ticketmaster fee and you decide whether or not you're doing Leagues Cup or whatever, like all that. And for me, it's like, how many of these games would, like on a Saturday, would I end up paying like $30 or $35 to get in when face value is 37 or whatever? And I'm like, it's almost not worth the effort to give it up, to then have to pay $100 for MLS season pass, to then have to pay for Charlotte and Nashville every year, and then also pay for the bus, and also pay for the tailgates and the wristbands and stuff and all that sort of thing, and the Martas. And like it almost just, like, I weighed it and I'm just like, this is worth sticking around, because this is the first
Mm,
like adult community that I've ever had as a 25-year-old, that me and my
yeah.
girlfriend shared together, that like I made adult friends at. And
Mm.
like that's the first kind of spot for me where that's been a thing. And I'm just not,
Mm.
I don't know that I'm ready to give that up yet. I don't know how bad they'd have to be for me to give this up,
it's
knowing
valid.
how bad they've been this year. But that's why I wanted to make sure that when Glenn and I had this exact conversation in our little pre-show get together, that we had it the same conversation on air. Like, I think it's worth, because a lot of people are having this
Yeah.
this kind of back and forth with themselves
Yeah.
right now. And it's my girlfriend's first year being a season ticket member, and like we took her family members last night. Glenn met them. We didn't
Lovely
see
people.
Amy, obviously Jen wasn't there. Yeah, they're awesome. They just got married, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll come to a soccer game. Like we're college football and baseball people and hockey people." And we left after this, like after all that happened, and we get in the car, and Chase is Hannah's cousin, and he looks at me and goes, "I've never been to something like that in my entire life." About
It's
yesterday,
still, like, it's still
and
a
that's
whole
insane. Like
experience.
We own building because that's
yes,
how special this
Yeah.
is.
like that's
No,
how
I
We can
hear
that
you.
is
fix
I
this.
how
know.
that is how this makes us feel, and for them to be like, "When are we going back?" Like it still can capture the hearts and minds of people. And keep in mind, like it's 3-1. He's like, "Oh my god, like it's only 3-1. Like we can get this." And I'm sitting there when they scored 3-2 with my arms crossed and didn't move because it was the first time in my entire life I felt nothing.
You
But
felt
like
nothing.
felt
Look,
like genuinely like they put that in, and I was like, I would have been less mad if they lost 3-1 because now I have to sit here and pretend like they have a chance at 3-2. But like at 3-1, I'd have been less mad. Like genuinely, that's how I felt.
somebody dropped in the chat something
3-1,
like, and
you
now
could
we
have,
get to wait for the proverbial.
yeah, and,
I
and
did.
3-1, you could have left and gotten a milkshake and not felt bad about it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't
Funny.
because why would I?
No, I
You
hear you.
know,
I also,
but
Yeah.
I just want to be very clear on
Didn't hear
something
it.
though.
Sure.
If
Right.
I give up my season tickets, that is very different from I will not be there.
Right.
If it's just me in the supporter section with a bag over my head, I will be there. Okay.
You know what? With or without the bag, we accept you. No
But
matter
I
what.
may or may not pay
Correct. That's what
the
I'm
amount of
waiting.
money that
No,
I
Yeah,
pay for
and-
match
and-
for the
Yes,
privilege.
and that's everything is valid about season tickets. Like I never judge.
for sure.
People,
Everybody's different too,
like,
and
no,
it's tough.
I'm a middle school teacher. I don't really have spare money like that, but like this is the one thing that
What
like my
teachers
spare
aren't
money
paid
goes-
extremely well and compensated for their work?
he doesn't live in New York.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Nowhere, not even there are they properly compensated, but that's a different podcast.
Before we go, Glenn, I have an on the field hypothetical for you. It sort of kind of revolves around your season tickets, but I thought of this like 10 minutes before we jumped on it. I was like, oh, Glenn's either going to love this or hate this. And I want y'all's opinions too. But we've heard Glenn, talk many times about there's only 4 things you can change.
Hmm.
And we know it's the 3 DPs and
Yep.
the coach, just to remind
Yep.
everybody. And I think we'd all be shocked if all 4 of those things got changed before next season. I think that's very unrealistic, especially because one of them is Biggie.
Yeah, they
and
won't.
Biggie is now the captain. It's not happening. So, Glenn, I'm going to give you a choice.
Yeah.
You get one. Choice A. You get to get rid of the other 2 DPs. Latte Lott is gone. Moranchik is gone. You keep Miggy for next year because that is happening. And Ronnie Dyla stays. The other option, choice B, you get to fire Ronnie Dyla whenever you want, but all 3Ds have to come back next year for at least half the year until the World Cup. What are you picking?
I'm drinking poison.
God,
There has to be a third option. Like, it's like that old analogy of if you come to a fork in the road, right? And you can go left the way less people go or right the way more people go. I would look at that fork and I would pick it up.
Yeah.
There's a third way of doing things. There has to be.
There
has to be.
It's like in the
Got to be more creative than
Captain
that.
America.
We need to make 2 of the 4 changes, so we'll do that for sure.
Well, and I think
I don't know.
I
The
think
coach
that
has to go for sure. He has to be on that list. Ronnie has to go. Has to.
And I think if we're being
Hold on, before
realistic,
we go
choice
there,
3 is
before
Oh, yeah,
we
yeah.
go there, I
Let me
just
get
want to make
Jennifer
a
and
little
Amy's
bit of a note on Ronnie that, like, frankly, I am glad he had the presser that he had yesterday. Can you imagine? He's got to spin this whole, I can't say why I can't play the best performing defender, we have after halftime. I got to make some shit up because everybody and their brother's going to fucking ask me about it. And I mean, yeah, okay, what do you do with that? The team is in fact Charmin. And he knows it.
Yeah.
Everybody else knows it. And how many different ways can he say, well, we needed to press more here.
Well,
and we didn't get enough opportunities in their end, and we need to work on how many more ways can that man fucking say it? Whether or not,
and Jennifer, you're right.
At least he was refreshing.
It may have been right before you joined, Jen, but it may have been right before you joined, Jen, but I said that in my opinion, I think Ronnie was he was begging them to fire him with those words.
And I don't even blame him because
I maintain that if he knew that it was a possibility that Efrain was going to get pulled at halftime and be told you can't play him anymore or whatever the hell happened, I just don't think he fumbles the explanation like he does. It would have been cleaner, but whatever. Just me.
And I texted in the FanTV Discord last night in the 46 minute, 20 seconds after the goal went in. I was like, God damn, how could Ronnie Dial do that to us? Because he doesn't control that. But at the same time, for the first time, I am sympathetic to the maybe not sympathetic because I always understood the Ronnie out argument, but for the first time, I'm here at this point because the only thing that a coach controls is the lineup cards that go out there and the subs that come on. And like that's in consultation with the med staff and the CSO and the coaching staff. But like if you if you are not being good at those things, then that's the issue. If you know Derek Williams cannot go 90, and we've seen it even when he's healthy, that guy like dies on the field after every time he goes 90. Why the
He's
fuck is he
not a
out there
starter
with
when you have
Morales?
competent center backs.
No, and
He's a
like
starter
Abram
right
has
now
been
because
a
we have no
competent center back
choice.
this year. Why the hell is he not out there? I never thought I would be saying why the hell is Abram not out there. But Abram's been the best center back on the team this year through a long stretch. I mean, yeah, I'm sure Morales had a great last 2.5 games before he got traded. But like
I hear you.
why the fuck is
He's been
he
the
not out
best
there
in
when
the
you know
four
you're
back
best of
system.
time?
If you have to play four backs, I prefer Abram. I agree with you. In a four back, I prefer him as a CB. When you had a five back, it made sense to have, it made more sense and you could put Edwards or Cobb or whoever rotated in. But yeah.
Glenn, you avoided answering my hypothetical, by the way. I'm not going to let you out of it.
I can't. Like, it's not A or B. Neither of them. No,
If you had, you got to pick one.
I
It's
don't.
so good. It's
No, I
hard.
don't. I don't have to pick either. Go and see. Can't. I
Oh,
can't. I cannot. I
boo!
cannot. I cannot. Because I don't think answering a hypothetical without like a third, like it doesn't. That doesn't serve anything. You know. Like,
Oh, well, and the hypothetical third one is Moranchik goes because he's the DP that's been here the
yeah.
longest, and the one you will do a value on, and also Ronnie goes because Latte Lat will get a second year, and he should, in my opinion, and we can debate that
Yeah. I
or
mean,
not.
if I had my druthers, I'm ejecting Ronnie, Alexi, and Miggy.
You keep it Latte after all the shit you talk about him.
Hmm? I can explain it later. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah. Just I
my,
think
that's
there's more
perfect.
opportunity for him as a striker to do more.
You
I
know,
think
you know who kind of agrees with you in
Miggy
that same vein
Miggy
is
doesn't fit. Heartbreakingly just doesn't fit. So yeah.
I know you wanted to get to Callum's comment, but I think we should talk about Homer's comment because it's in
Go
line
ahead.
with your comment
Yeah. Go
about
ahead.
latte.
Go ahead.
Latte. So
This is on
Homer,
X, Homer.
this
Thank
is
you
on
as
the
always.
yes. Thank you, Homer, for chiming in. We love you. Thank you. So Homer says it's enough. Hashtag Delia out. Also, why is Brad starting? Also, Bart man of the match and Latte Lot low key man of the match. You know,
And I
we had
shout
that. We
on.
used to have that thing where we would shout out a low key man of the match
Yeah, those days are
because
gone.
I
we
miss
haven't
those. Those are fun.
bothered with low key for a minute. So thank you,
Everybody's,
Homer, for bringing it back and sticking with us.
and it's
And then he
fair.
also says, hopefully, we don't have to deal with these players next year.
It's
Um,
fair. It's
I'm
fair.
okay. I'm okay if the bartometer stays.
Look,
Okay.
well,
Just for
my
clarity.
Yeah,
criticism
that's
of
maybe
Latte
one that's
Lot is one warranted because like he's only had two goals and since March. Like he needs to do more. But the shock and why I would keep him if I had to choose 3 out of the 4, I just feel like with a striker with that position, if you can get him the appropriate service, I think there's more opportunity for him to somehow eventually turn it around. And I think there's less likelihood of that with a player like Miggy. And that breaks my heart.
you don't. So you don't.
You asked my
We have,
opinion,
we
but I
have not
agree.
seen. We have not. We have not seen Miggy at a 10 in a 4-2-3-1 like at all this year for some ungodly reason. Like you
True.
wouldn't give that a run.
And anything good he's done, he's been central, like he was with his
Yeah,
assists. So
I would say that was prime old Miggy right there, like dribbling some guys. Like Morancha can't do that.
no, he cannot.
And I
well,
understand
Also
Morancha.
had a shot that was legitimately blocked the same way on the same sequence where Latte hits a ball to Miyumba, that Miyumba makes a strike that is on net. Kalina makes another save. There's another opportunity there where Miggy fires it, and again, there's an unfortunate, deflection. Like but I agree with you, Glenn. Like, I think at the end of the
He's
day,
just harder to fit in.
I started early in the season saying that Miggy was a little bit of extra salt
Yep.
that we desperately thought the recipe needed, and it
We
turned
got
out
too
it
much
didn't.
sodium in this joint, unfortunately. Hey, I got an
Well, I
interesting.
wanted to
Go ahead.
chime in there
But
that
I don't
Go
think
ahead.
it's happening.
Elliot.
So for Miggy stands, don't worry. I don't think he's going anywhere
No,
legitimately.
it's
No,
not.
it's not happening. This is just wild
We're going to
hypotheticals.
rewrite everything else around him to make sure
Yeah,
that
he's not. He's
yeah.
not going.
And
Let's be real.
I do think Miggy and ELL can fit together. Anyway,
Well,
let's
and look, I don't know that everybody is on this latte lot hate train because Elliot Wegg on Insta
Yep.
says the latte lot hate is ridiculous. He's been playing
Mhm.
nonstop for the last year and a half, which is true. He did not get a break between,
He's on a year then.
yeah.
He's on a year. It's not a year and a half. It's a year.
Well, he will be on a year and a half by the
By
end of
the
the
end of
season.
the
I've said
season,
that
sure,
at
but
one
I'm just
point
saying
too.
right now it's
Okay.
not.
Yeah,
It's not.
I
I
think
hear
that's
the
a legitimate
argument.
comment, though.
I mean, sure, players are getting overloaded. Like, that's why we're seeing so many injuries globally because they're playing more. I get that. But
What Chelsea
I also think he's being asked to play a number 9 in a way that he was not asked to play other places.
he's
Like,
not a
we've
target
talked
for
about
him.
the number of
He's
people
not.
that have been brought in to
whatever.
do.
He's still got to do more.
he goes on to say
Yeah.
that the entire team is horrible and you can't write him off after one bad season. He was absolutely electric in the
Yeah,
first 3
but
games.
if the entire team is terrible, he is by default terrible. He's on the team. I hear the point he's making. I know I'm being a little snarky there. I get it. But but you know what I mean? Like, would he be better with better players around him? Sure. So would every player ever. We said this about Alexi,
Everybody.
and we thought we got better players, and he's not better. Like, DP's got to be able to just be that person, and he's not.
Well,
Hasn't shown an ability to, but maybe he can in the future.
That's the exact point I made in a different Discord server today. Like, this team was a miracle. It took multiple miracles to happen to this team to not finish 12th last year. And then we bought 2 DPs, one who doesn't fit and one who's underperformed, and kept most of the same roster. And now we're all sitting here wondering why they're still 12th. Like, it's the same. Like, they brought back most of the same team.
They did, but again, what the key thing was you had a coach who created this like system of belief in all these players, and you did have we definitely had a different, healthier defense last year. We had some different a lot of us
Ferguson was healthier that last year than he was this year, which isn't saying much, but he at least played like half the games.
Yeah, Stian played 27 matches last year. I think he's on pace to play 12 or 13.
This season, the last I did the numbers on him, he was only at just above 30%. That's going to drop down even more precipitously this season. So that's.
Well, I mean, it took Derek 3.5 months to come back from whatever the heck was wrong with him. So,
I think what happened with Stian at this point, given how long he's been out, I think his quadricep just fell off.
Oh,
I think his quad just fell off of his leg.
Did he leave it out in the parking lot? In the player parking lot?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
No, he needs to call
look, so we're sitting here in our little pod and got all these other pods.
I want to hit one more comment too before we get to closing arguments here. Because he's a good friend of the pod.
I will. Let me wrap this. Right? Let me get to this first before you do.
You do that.
Like I said, we're pontificating on all of this stuff, right? In our various social channels and all the different pods that are out there that all do a great job and are all trying to figure this shit out, Callum Ewing, Young 17 on X, dropped a comment last night that got me thinking. He's apparently writing an article that acts as something of an open letter to the Atlanta United front office from fans and writers alike. And he wanted to know what we would tell them. Tell the front office, tell Garth. We hope Garth is well, but, Hendo and the rest. Shoot, make Skate the coach at this point. What would we tell them? Earnestly, nothing they don't already know. I think it would be a little presumptuous of us as fans and podcast hosts to assume we know things they don't already know. We're all frustrated, but let's be real. These people will forget more about football than we'll ever know. They know it's been awful. They know this isn't it. And the solutions haven't worked. I just don't think there's anything that we could tell the front office right now that they would then go, oh, that's what's wrong. I don't think so. If there was any one singular message, though, that we could give them, don't raise ticket prices. Don't do it, guys.
Yep.
You are gonna lose people in droves. I'm an OG. Nick, you've been to my house. Brother, you've seen the room. It's a stupid amount of paraphernalia. Like, I'm.
Well, we don't do the podcast from that room.
I'll tell you right now
Like, you're
that
gonna
if they
lose
raise
me.
ticket prices, the finance committee is going to veto my
There you go.
application to renew. Like that's like it's just
do that.
we
Just
can't.
don't do that. Bare minimum. Don't raise the prices. Bring them down. All right.
Even if the prices stay the same, like,
Bare minimum.
You already raised
Freeze.
Like you can justify it if you just say
Freeze,
like, hey,
and then I
raising
want Greg Garza to bring me ice cream to my house.
You want Greg Garza as your personal Uber driver?
Hell yes.
Uber.
Hey, and shout out too to Andrew Wheeler Amawu coming
Hey,
back
yeah.
and handing out the
Garza
ice cream
gets
at
all
Stay
the
in Lot
love,
17.
but yeah, thank you. That's
Yes, we have come to this being bribed with sundaes and having our cherries pregame because we know
because
that
we
that's
know,
going to be the highlight.
like, and shout out to the two ladies that were sitting in front of me at the Benz. I didn't get their names, but we had a lot of great conversation. Our conversation started after the Charlotte goal happened, the first one, and as much as one can lose it, I lost it in that moment. And then they turned around and calmed me down, and we started a conversation about how these players are just needing ice cream and no sprinkles. No sprinkles for anybody. Nobody gets any sprinkles. So just want to make that point that we can have ice cream, but we don't get any sprinkles. No cherries on top. We get plain ass vanilla ice cream. That's what these players should get. Plain ass vanilla that's not even good. It's kind of like frozen and chunky and watery. It's not very good. It's not Brewster's. It's certainly not Jenny's.
Is it? No, I can't even say Kroger brand because that stuff's good.
Wait, I remember Jennifer's favorite brand of ice cream. She was eating a tub of it like months ago when we were also still crap. Was it Bluebell?
Bluebell.
Is it Bluebell?
Yes.
I do like the Bluebell.
It is
It's
the
just
Bluebell.
too expensive because
Okay.
I buy season tickets for Atlanta United and I can't afford the full gallon-sized Bluebell for $9.49. It's still a half gallon.
It's a tough choice to make, the Bluebell or the football.
I can choose. I can go watch this crap at the Benz, or I can get really good ice cream.
That's actually becoming an
just
easier
to
decision to
kind
make.
of
All right.
polish-
What other
To kind of put the
comments?
cherry on top of this Sunday.
Yeah. What other comments? Do you
I
want to
would
get to?
like to close commenting.
Go ahead.
I would like to close commenting with the great Tim Steimer. From
Oh
Footy
my
Bob.
gosh! Did he leave us another novel? Should we condense it down? Go ahead.
You know what though? It's a warranted and well written novel, and he really
Okay.
like, and he's going to put you in your place, Glenn, because
Okay, go ahead.
what he said was, "You are kind, and I am not."
Yeah.
When your team comes out of the locker room late, has to walk straight into kickoff, gives up a goal in 15 seconds, one might question the management of the team. Again, just thinking out loud here, but maybe you don't pull the most effective center back we've had. He put Wilfred in his place.
Well,
Wilfred
we had
decided
to now. We know why.
Yeah, we know that.
So
Did you notice him hand Derek a receipt? He owned him. I had sympathy pains the rest of the night. From the outside, Brennan is the obvious starter. That means he's benched for the rest of the season. It's also obvious that Brooks offers less than nothing. A clear starter for Atlanta when not rotating players. Founding members like me should be placed on the endangered species list. If season ticket prices go up, I may end up the last man standing. We are not good.
correct. Don't disagree on any of those
Yeah.
points. It's just now we kind of know the situation with Efrain.
No,
So.
I'm sorry. I know I'm beating a very dead horse here, but like seriously though, it it was so obvious and so bad and so poorly managed that I maintain that there is just no way that Ronnie Dyla knew that there was a chance that he was going to be instructed to sit off Efrain for the second half because everything from every fan in that stadium to Ronnie's like really weird, clearly on the fly response to the fact that the team came out late, wasn't ready to play. Edwards had not been prepped and said, hey, there's a chance that
It's
you may
weird.
be going in or a Brom or whatever. All of it is so bad that I'm sorry. I know that I've been like a defender of Ronnie Dyla here, okay? And I'm not saying he is above criticism.
I defended him.
But I have not seen
You're the
anything
only
out
one.
of that man this season that makes me think that he is that level of unprepared.
Yeah, it
I
seems
just
like
don't.
a little bit of information was withheld somewhere. Like it's one of those two things, right? Either he didn't get the full
Yeah.
story, or he did and he rolled the dice.
Yeah.
It's really tough because like whether it's the injury thing that happened where whether he could really not sprint or not, like we'll never know,
Well, we will
or
know
it was
tomorrow. We'll know.
okay.
Montreal
Today.
wouldn't be picking him up on a waiver
Don't be
if they
so
don't know
sure.
if he
Darby
can
County
He
sprint.
picked
wasn't gonna
up
pass medical.
Ajimon and he's having hernia surgery.
Okay, maybe.
Well,
Maybe.
Ozzy could probably still pass his medical with that. I assume. Like they're just gonna say, "Oh,
I think that's a massive deal for me for a club to take anybody that's like, yeah, we'll take you and we'll hope you'll be good after surgery. I think that's a really big
Well,
deal.
it wasn't like when we almost signed
Right.
that one center back
Yeah.
Martinez, who then went to Miami, and then he ended up tearing his ACL 6 months after we didn't sign him. Like I don't probably not like
Right.
that, but like on a one way, I feel for Ronnie in this specific instance. Like either Efrain really couldn't sprint, and we'll find that out later, or like he didn't know about the trade or whatever. Right? Sometimes you just can't control this. But where I don't feel, but where Ronnie is starting to lose me, he says a lot of the right things in the media, maybe more so than Gonzo or whoever else ever did, or Rob or whatever, however you want to compare it to. But at the end of the day, you can't say the things about playing young players in the media and then not do it. You can't then continue to run Lennon out there and not Edwards. You then can't continue to not give Will Riley his chances or not give Luke Brennan his chances. I mean, he did on Saturday. But how long did that take? How long have we been sitting here saying that? How long has
But
he been saying that in the media? Like that's where
but
it's starting to lose me a little bit.
but we all agreed that the first half was great, and to me, the lineup that they put out there made a lot of sense. It was a good mix
It
of
did.
young players who have earned time and veteran experience. And maybe the only question I have is whether Will Riley should have been out there, but
Well, like, and I
Muyumba was
disagree.
the
It's
one
just
who's
in
on
that
for
instance
him, and
too.
he got the goal, nearly had a brace, and played excellent. So,
Point of order. Point of
Jen.
order. I don't know. Like, look, if Tommy Scoops is dropping that bomb, right, and they all got that bomb dropped on them like the locker room was fucking Hiroshima. But what are
Uh-huh.
you going to come out and do? All of a sudden, your
Exactly.
whole game plan
It's
has gone to shit and hell in a handbasket. And oh, by
Yeah,
the way,
if
you
Chris
have
is just
3
down there or
minutes
whatever,
to.
like you don't know what that does to them.
I
So I mean,
well,
it's just it's
That's a good
unfair.
point.
It's really unfair, and I don't disagree with
but
you,
here's
either one of you, because yes, play the damn kids at this point.
but here's that's indicative of where this team is. So we've accepted the fact that because one homegrown can't go, the entire
That has
plan
to
is
happen.
done.
I mean, not wrong, Glenn.
He's the one tall, fast guy in the back.
But you know what I'm
that was
saying.
available.
I'm making the
I
point
think
that
I'm
that's how
more
fragile
citing
we are.
positive.
I
I want to
don't. I
be
don't
very
know.
clear. I want to be very clear on something though, because Jen, I basically made a very similar point before you came on, right? And that's the horse I've been beating to death. But in all seriousness, like I'm not trying to say that that is a valid excuse. I want to be very clear. It's not a valid excuse, right? Like no, but I'm glad that you're bringing this point up, Jen, right? Because I don't think you're trying to make it as an excuse either.
No,
It's
I'm
not an
just saying,
excuse,
like,
but it is a fact that that seems to be connected and that seems to be the case. And so I'm just saying it feels like cause and effect, and whether it should be cause and effect is a whole different conversation, but it seems pretty clear that that's what happened, and that to me is dysfunction at a level that is beyond unacceptable and past like
do a late
where we've
scratch.
even been at this point. And
Yeah,
I don't know if that's because Garth took a step back and some messages got crossed the wrong way or what, but I'm very curious to see if anything, probably not, comes out around this.
I
We'll
think
find out
what
tomorrow,
you
I'm sure.
say. I think what you're saying, Amy, is 100% correct, and it's inexcusable on the part of upper management at this club to allow a team to go out with a player who is possibly on the move in the starting 11. And I don't have any reasonable expectation that if you're yanking him and everybody in the locker room finds out, oh, by the way, you're on a plane tonight to fucking Montreal for a medical, like, like, I mean, you're gonna freeze. Like, there's no other way any normal human would react. All of a sudden, your teammate, your brother, you're out there, you're sweat, whatever it is, they're on a fucking plane and they're losing their whole like scholarship at Tech and pick up whatever. We all know what's going on here. The fact that we are so incompetent to the point that that couldn't have happened before kickoff. That's the problem, and you're 100% right.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I mean, it just and this is kind of my last thought. Like it just feels bad, man. I did a little exercise on my phone before I jumped on here about like what players I would and wouldn't keep for next year. There's a lot of blanks on that depth chart. Just we don't have to go through it all now because we're been going really long, but this feels bad. And nobody thought we'd be here.
Listen, we have to have some things to talk about for next week because whether we want to or not, we will be back.
Yeah, we're going to be here across
Next week, we have another game.
multiple time zones. So Jennifer is still going to be in Costa Rica. Amy and Nick will still be here in Atlanta. I will be in Hawaii. I have a little union conference that I have to go to. It is not a vacation. Believe me, I'm going to be sitting in a conference room most days, not on the beach and enjoying
Well,
the
at least
weather.
you don't have to go to the match next Saturday.
That is a positive, is it not? So I'll be 6 hours behind, or however you want to coin that. Y'all will be in the future, and I will be in the past still. Won't. But we're going to work it out. At some point, I'm going to find time to watch live or rewatch, and then we're going to work it out the next day to come back and talk about whatever the team offers to talk about. Things could be very
All
different.
I can
The
say
windows
is
get
that y'all are
windows opening
cheaper than
soon.
my actual therapist.
What's that?
Y'all are cheaper than my actual therapist, and this is how I'm going to
free,
afford
baby.
season tickets next
It's
season.
free. It's free, baby. It's free, baby.
To one
Exactly.
place but one place I won't be wearing my bag next week. Okay, so like we're gonna be positive, y'all. We're gonna be positive. We talked about the community, right? Community's gonna be back. One place I'm not gonna be wearing my bag is at Lot 17 in the tailgate. Come down and see all the different supporter groups, but in particular, Jen, I think you're gonna be a little sad to know that All Stripes will be
Mm.
having a Broadway tailgate this upcoming
Oh
match.
no.
So, for all of you that would like to
Wait.
get your
Oh
show
no.
Stop
tunes
this.
on,
Is Melanie throwing a Broadway rave?
it is a Broadway damn good time at the All Stripes tailgate this coming week.
I'm
There will be
literally
some mixed in
texting All Stripes
non-Broadway
right
for the
now.
occasional, mix up, but yes.
Sad. I have to miss next week's tailgate. That sucks.
Yeah.
Amy, you're gonna have
I
to
won't be
So
there either.
So I know that it's not Greg Garza and Andrew Wheeler Amawu handing out Brewster's ice cream, but I mean, it's show tunes, y'all, and some Broadway, and I understand they have great mixed drinks. And again, I think it's going to be a blast. Come out to Lot 17 in general. See the family. You don't even have to technically go into the match. You could just come spend that money with any of the many Gulch supporter groups. I did meet at least a couple of people that did, in fact, do that. They showed up at the tailgate and then went home because the tailgate was
Well,
wonderful.
come on out. You never know what could happen against Seattle. Maybe we will be defying gravity.
Oh,
I
please.
very much
You know what
doubt
you
it.
do know that will
That
happen
was
with
good, man. Like
Seattle
they held
is
PSG to 2 goals.
no. You know what I do know that will happen with Seattle is if there are actually traveling supporters, because yes, the Benz is still something to see. They will handle as they did when Garth announced the news. The organization will handle their former people with a lot of class.
They will, for sure.
As they did, because they put out a lovely statement of support in Garth, and it was nice to see. And again, that's what we're here for the community at this point in time,
Yep.
because
And that's what's never going
Correct.
away.
Nope, never going away. We need each other. We will continue to be here for each other. And that's really important. It's more important than anything. It's more important than the football and the wins and losses. It's your community. It's the family. It's the friends you make along the way. And listen, don't take that shit for granted.
I just need you all to know that I'm wearing my Songs of a Lost World concert T-shirt with Robert Smith on it today,
There you go.
because that's my mood. It's The Cure.
I wore my Spurs T-shirt today.
I'm
You
still
haven't
wearing
seen it
Chelsea.
yet.
I'm still wearing
Ooh,
Chelsea.
that's a cool looking cock you got, Nick.
Oh my god. All right, we're gonna wrap
thanks.
it up there. Yeah, it's done. We're done.
I did intentionally pick my very first ever Atlanta United kit because I felt like Bag Stand 17 is definitely on behalf of the 17s that remember when this kit was special.
I'm gonna
Let's
get
bring that back, y'all.
I hope so. All right, y'all.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you very much for listening, supporting us, and Fan TV, and Mason Mill, and each other. You know, like I was saying, don't take it for granted. Don't take the friends you have for granted. Don't take life for granted, especially. You know, even all it has to offer. It is a privilege to be alive, right? And it's a
Yes.
privilege to feel pain and to experience loss. It's a privilege to feel those things, because the alternative is you're just not here, and things can happen. Shit can change for you real quick, and it can all go away. So just be grateful for what you have, whatever it is that you have, good and bad, because
One thing we are for sure is we are a long way from not caring.
that's right.
And that the passion is still there. We may be angry, but that's just another side of the coin of love and how much we love this team. So we're going to be back.
Yep.
We really will, for
Yep.
real, someday.
Yeah, at some point. Don't know when, but at some point. All right, y'all. Well, we're going to be back in a week's time in some form over multiple different time zones. Might be a little hard to work out, but we're gonna make it happen somehow, some way. And
We'll figure it out. We always do. We
yeah,
find a way.
yeah, we always do. Just like life, right? Life finds a way. Atlanta United doesn't, but life does. All right, y'all. Thank you very much for listening. We'll be back in a week's time. Till then, y'all be good. We will be back.
Meow 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 meow
Got the
meow
real
meow
cat back.
meow 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 meow.